I'm recording.
Well, yeah, it's just backup, innit?
Right,
Should we start?
Go for it.
God, I hate introducing. Welcome to. Fucking hell! FaaF Podcast is back with a follow-up to the pilots.
Well,
Welcome
no, it's not.
back.
It's not even back, is it? It's arrived. We didn't have a name for it before.
Oh, this is true. This is the first recording as FaaF, but like you said, we weren't anything. Or still nothing. With
Nothing,
probably no listeners.
Yep.
But yeah, it's episode 2 or episode 1. Pilot could be episode 0, however you want to list it. And yeah, it's great feedback from both of us who listened to it.
Yeah, mine was never do it again.
I think there's a couple of listeners. Thanks to anyone who did listen. I think Stuart follows my One Foot in the podcast.
Who's Stuart?
He interacted with us on Twitter, if you recall. It's going back ages ago when we first released.
Nice one. Cheers, Stuart.
Probably,
I know,
probably Dazza and Sai, other Sai, who do my pod. They probably, as a charitable donation, downloaded it. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I've actually listened to it back about 4 times. Is that sad?
I know Will from, as we mentioned in the Family Rain last time. He listened to it, all of it as well, which I'm quite surprised about.
What, the band?
Yeah, the band.
Family Rain, the band.
That's all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how did the numbers look on the pilot.
I'm not going into that.
Okay, were they astronomical?
Yeah. Put it this way, I've got more degrees in education than listeners. 0. No, I think it's very, very low numbers, but apart from when we uploaded the pilot.
So we're not hitting the top 10 UK chart yet, then?
It's probably not found its way anywhere near any chart. I think it's that. If you're listening and you don't know us, this is very special because it means an algorithm has worked in our favour somehow. But otherwise, it's probably us listening. Well, word of mouth aside, I think people find these things by chance, don't they? I think we come under comedy, alleged comedy, might I add.
Come under shit.
If there's a category for shite, yeah.
Miscellaneous.
Coming in strong in the shite charts. I think we do all right. No, I don't know. It's we're obviously taking the piss out of ourselves quite a lot, and that might be a bit repetitive to some, it might be funny to others, but that's probably what we do. We haven't got any topics lined up. We were going to have our pal on the pod, but he's decided to not join us. Should we name and shame him? It's only Alex. I won't put his surname out there. But Alex was supposed to. We mentioned, haven't we, on the pilot and previous pods on One Foot in the Pod. But he decided to, because his football team didn't get promoted to the Premier League and probably other things, decided not to join us. So, sod you, mate. Sod you.
Yeah. Well,
you better be downloading this to add to our numbers.
Yeah. Well, we can always chat about what happened since, obviously, in some kind of form. Like, obviously, we did think of a name, even though I thought of other names not long afterwards. I thought it might have been better, but you obviously it was a bit late.
The amount of money put into the advertising campaign would be a waste, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah,
all 0 pence of it.
Yeah, true that.
I mean, the artwork's there. FaaF, do you want to ask a random question each of each other? Then that might spark some topics. Do you want to ask me something first, or shall I ask you?
I don't know. I was going to say, what have you been up to since? Not that I don't speak to you every day, nearly, but
yeah,
I don't actually know what you've been. When did we last do that?
Hassling you every other week to do a fucking pod.
When did we last do it?
Waiting for you to finish. We'll have to look at the date of when the podcast is released. Let me have a look.
I actually don't. I can't. I was thinking about this, and I was like, I don't actually remember when it was we actually did it last. Because March seems too far away.
March,
oh bloody hell! Was it?
It was March 21st, 20th.
Oh, wow.
I'm just looking at our Twitter, mate. 10 followers strong. I'm one of them. I think. Are you one of them?
No. No.
Step Pod and Son. That's Simon Darren's But thank you very much. Oh, mac and cheese. Oh, the mac and cheese podcast. That's the Not Going Out pod. That's a new one. Shout out to Mac and Cheese podcast.
They're a new one. They're a new pod, or they're a new follower.
They're a new pod. 3 Comedos. That's obviously.
So basically, they're all related to you.
Yeah, they all know. James, my brother.
James is right.
My mother-in-law. Fuck.
Brilliant.
So basically, the only people that follow us that I don't know is Stuart Bailey, who we shouted out earlier.
So
the others.
How did you know about
the others?
Stuart
Are
Bailey?
either us. The other people following our Twitter or our X are either people I've met already in the pod world, or they're my relatives.
Yeah.
Or that's Stuart Bailey. So I'd like to dedicate this episode to Stuart Bailey. If he's listening, because he's the only one who said, "Are you doing any more?" I've retweeted on my fairly bigger 1 Foot pod, and it doesn't get much coverage. If I'm honest with you, exposure. That's the word I was looking for.
Really? In what sense? People just don't even.
Well, they won't really, they won't interact with it. Darren is incredibly loyal. Darren will retweet and promote all day long. So thanks, Darren. But it's not really reached my cult following yet.
The 1 Foot audience aren't obviously into their gritty content.
No. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's to be honest, you've got to put the work in, really, because if you only do one pod once every 3 months, you're not going to build up a following, are you? So, I mean, what's it? So March, April, May. So it's been about 2.5 months since the last one.
It's weird.
That's all right.
Does it seem long ago to you? That doesn't. It seems longer.
Hey, on March the 22nd, we got to 18 downloads. So God knows what it is now, mate. We'll probably be getting advertising before long.
What on that day? On that day?
I tweeted that on the 22nd of March. I probably didn't come out the day before. I reckon probably a week before that. I think you and I are a download each. I think.
And it only counts for
my
one,
mate
doesn't
Si
it?
and Darren. Yeah. If it was on a loop, mate, we'd be in triple figures. Because I've played it a few times.
FaaF. Flat as a farm.
On our last podcast, just to summarise, we spoke about dead dogs. Oh, I got a story about a dead dog in a minute. Not my dead dog. So it was all about. I went to a gig last night with Robin.
Bloody hell, you went out.
Went to see Griff Rhys-Jones.
Oh, that kind of gig.
Not the 9 o'clock news. 3 Men in a Boat. Smith and Jones. I went to see him in Bristol, Clifton, and his show's called something like Cats in Pyjamas or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the topic he was asking the audience who's got a dog.
Yeah.
People going, oh yeah, I've got a Springer Spaniel. Da, da, da. And then a lady right at the front said, yeah, I've got a dog. And then she went, he died yesterday.
Oh shit.
And the audience went, oh, like that, right?
Yeah.
And then I could see her husband put his arm around her to comfort her because she started to well up. But then Griff moved on.
Yeah.
And he obviously showed sympathy in that, but he was carrying on with his spiel. And then it must have been about 15 minutes later, she and her husband just walked out. They awkwardly walked up the stairs out of the theatre.
Right.
And it caught Griff Rhys-Jones' eye. And he went, oh, really? Is this? And the husband was like, oh, it's okay. But and I thought, my heart went out to them because their dog died the day before, and I know how raw that is. But you still put your hand up to say, yeah, my dog.
Yeah.
That obviously triggered her, didn't it?
Yeah.
So,
how old were they?
Roughly. They didn't go into the couple, they must have been in their, I don't know, early 50s.
Oh, right.
But it's just like, know that raw pain and everything. And they obviously decided to come to the show to get their mind off it. But the topic of dogs gets brought up. I totally get it. But to like put your hand up and say, yeah, I've got a dog called so-and-so that died yesterday. I think, that was an own goal, that.
Yeah.
So anyway. So last podcast, we were brainstorming a bloody pod. We spoke about ghosts, didn't we? Street football loners. Play football on my own in the street. Used to see me. We spoke about much bigger podcasts. Bart Simpson.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell the lack of content because I'm talking about what we spoke about the first ep.
Hang on, I'm trying to put the light on.
Yeah, I've got a light on.
Yeah, you can't see my face too much. Well, we got to explain that Tom's too lazy to come to mine this time, so we're over Zoom, which is he's made me download and
begrudgingly, he's doing a Zoom pod. He'd rather we'd be at Abbey Road Studios doing this professionally, but it's just not fucking happening. Right, okay. What have I been at? I've been to Centre Parks.
Oh, yeah. You had your 22nd
I've recorded other
this year.
pods. It's such a myth. How many times have you been to Cumbria?
Well, it's a bit different. I do have a house up there, but only
My
3.
one and only holiday this year.
Okay.
Sorry?
Was that? Is it? You've been up to Manchester though, right?
That's not a holiday. That's seeing family. If you mean booking annual leave, I think you'll find it's
a chore.
in an employment contract to take annual leave, mate. Yeah, I went to Manchester and I went to Centre Parks recently. Then we are going camping at the end of July, if that's all right with you.
I'll go to the Cumbria.
You go to Cumbria and you have a roast dinner and a walk. That's what I seem to.
What was I going to say? Well, you got to go for a walk.
I know what you do. Every single time you go to the Lake District, you tell our listener, tell Stuart what you do every time you get to the Lake District. What you send to me and Alex in the WhatsApp.
Yeah, but you need some context to that. I only send
exactly.
I only say
well, say it, then give the very brief backstory.
Wyatt. So, it makes more sense that I give them the brief backstory. So you came with me and my parents back in when we were 18, just turned 18.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
it's 20 years ago, wasn't it?
We went up there in 2004, and with Griff's limited knowledge of the Lake District in Cumbria at the time, he thought we arrived. This is not even a funny story to me, Turner. It's really not. It's not even anywhere near.
It's fine. It doesn't have to be funny. Just
anyway.
Give you the floor to take the piss.
We got to a car park in Windermere, and Griff announced as he was recording everything at the time on his camcorder. It nearly got me fired from Argos. That's another story. Yeah, he announced that we've now arrived at the Lake District car park, and so because
the Lake District car park,
because he said that once, every time I go up there now, I send a photo of when I'm parking that car park that I've arrived at the Lake District car, or So it's just one of those little stupid.
So it'll be the same. It would be the same car park. We'll get a picture of your parked car, and you'll say just parked in the Lake District car park.
Every time,
yes.
So in a way, it's like
I wanted because he bloody got the recording still. I couldn't even say. I think you'll find I said we're parked in a car park in the Lake District, but I did actually say.
Yeah.
I know. Annoyingly, you could prove me wrong and said no. You said the Lake District car park. That's one car park. It's not one of the biggest bugbears of the Lake District is obviously you have to park in car parks because you can't. Everywhere is a rubbly road, 4 foot wide, and you can't park on the side. You have to park the nearest car park. Then it costs absolute bomb, doesn't it? It all adds up, doesn't it?
And it's all it's ridiculous. Car parking. That's the most I spend on money up there is the fees. For parking. It doesn't. A small price to pay for like. You can blag
probably the luscious part of the UK.
It's my favourite part. So.
FaaF. Flats of FaaF.
About to recount our trip to the Centre Parks, fucking hell, to Lake District. It's 20 years ago. We could give a brief summary, and actually, because we spoke about ghosts on the last pod, our pilot. I spent the whole fucking week in the Lake District, thinking our room was haunted. And we won't give away. So, spoiler alert, there wasn't a ghost, but I spent the whole week petrified that there was a ghost in our room because so we had. So I mentioned I brought a handheld camera, camcorder. Sorry, before in a time
with tape.
Long before. Yeah, literally, hard tape, physical tape. We've got anyone under
this digital
as if we've got anyone listening. Anyone under sort of 25 listening. 23, we won't do, but in case we do, and I'm sure they've been told by their elders what tapes are, but it was with a little tape. Anyway, was documenting everything, wasn't I? And I like to remind you, I was working a shift at, which is a posh. Well, it's not exactly where it is, but it's okay. I beeped that out when I edit this, but in a posh place in the countryside, I was just doing a bit of waitering. And I just did a long ass shift. I worked till like 11 p.m. at night, I started it that day about lunchtime. So for an 18-year-old, that's quite a heavy slog. And then, of course, we drove up to the Lake District.
Picked up about 2
in the morning?
Yeah, it was like 1:30, I think. But you were on your computer anyway. I don't think you literally got in and then...
Well, there's no point in me going to bed, is my point. And I think I recorded myself going on MSN Messenger. How tragic is that? Wait, just basically documenting, waiting for you to
2 o'clock in the morning.
So when we had got to the Lake District car park, and we had to wait for so many hours for our little bungalow to be ready, by 5 o'clock, I was absolutely shattered. I hadn't slept for about a day and a half. So I fell asleep on the bed, fully clothed, and you got my camcorder and filmed me at the end of my bed, because we shared a twin bedroom, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I had one of those freaky sinks in our bedroom, just a sink
next to you,
and the window next to it. That's a thing of the past for pretty much most houses, but some people do have a sink in their room, and I do associate that with old people.
Isn't that mad? That's
handy for a drink in the night.
20 bloody.
Anyway, you were filming, and I forgot the cables to the camera, so we couldn't watch back our footage on the telly there. But you, the next morning, I got the camcorder, and I was looking through the little lens, and I was looking back what you filmed, and this figure with legs ran past the screen.
Well, what looked
hands
like figure with
it looked like legs. It was like just jogging past, like going out of the window, and we all looked at it, and we all sort of verified it. Well, we couldn't be sure what it was, and that was the first night, and I was shitting an absolute brick all week. I wasn't looking forward to going to bed. I didn't want the lights to go out, and when we got home, and I finally had those pissing cables. If I brought these cables with me, I wouldn't have had the 5 nights of anxiety. It was basically you. You were pretending to play the guitar like a threat on the guitar.
No, I don't know what. I don't even know what it. I don't think it was that. I think I nearly dropped the camera.
You held the camera and you put your, like if you imagine playing the air guitar. If you're right-handed, you get your left hand and you're going up and down the neck, and he did that in front of the camera randomly, and it because it was like night vision and like grey white because it was at night at this point. His index and middle finger. They sort of went past the camera, and it looked like on a little lens when you're watching this back, it looked like something ghostly. So when I showed my mum and stepdad, they absolutely wet themselves laughing, thinking, "Is that what you were worried about? That's clearly a hand." And I've never cussed you more than I did when I realised I'd wasted hours and hours of sleep throughout the week.
I slept great.
Anyway, nice holiday.
You wanted to swap beds and everything.
You wouldn't swap bed for a mate.
We were still in the same rooms. I don't know what the difference was.
I know. Yeah, but I was closer to A, the ghost ran past my bed, and B, well, that's it. I don't need a B because the A is a good enough reason. Yeah. At the time, the ghost ran. Yeah, so. Yeah.
What? How did we get onto that? We keep jumping from.
Because I summarised that on our pilot episode. We did speak about ghosts and stuff or weird shit.
Oh yeah.
And then we spoke
about being a gun away.
Lake District and. So yeah, that's what I've been at. So Centre Parks, work, trying to raise a family, and podding. Yeah. What about you?
What have I been up to since March? Went to the Lake District.
Yeah,
in April. Not much really, just boring stuff. Car service, fun, inexpensive.
It's fun.
Just a bit of music here and there as well. Doing bits of music and more music videos, which I suppose is similar to your podding. The equivalent, maybe, I guess.
Got to have a hobby. Got to have a hobby, ain't you?
Yeah, and just, doing the same old, just work and just rubbishness.
The small matter of buying a house I've done. Well, I haven't bought it yet, but we're not another house. We sold this house.
Is there any progress of when you're looking to move in?
Well, sort of. We're in a chain. It's not the biggest chain, but we're moving into an empty property, and we've sold to obviously a buyer. The chain in our cellar, there's 3 of them. The house we bought, it's empty. The lady's selling it. She's divorced and she's selling the house or something like that. But basically, there's someone in the chain who lives in a retirement property, and the solicitors have taken about 8 weeks to figure out how to sell a retirement property because it's different, legal routes to go down. It's taken that long. So now it's just all about, for what I've learned is solicitors are forever sending inquiries to other solicitors about the house they're buying or selling on behalf of, and
then charge a fortune.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, hope to move, I don't know, July.
Do you reckon July, do you?
Well, I was hoping mid-June, but because of this delay, I'm thinking, well, it might be the end of June, start of July. I just don't know. You get a phone call one day saying there's an exchange date followed by a completion date, and they can be on the same day. They can be a week apart. It just depends, really.
Yeah. Have you started packing? Have you started packing?
No, not really, because I didn't see the point in doing that until you've got the exchange date. Otherwise, if things fall through,
yeah,
it's like we got a lot of stuff in our loft, and I said to Robin, I don't want to even attempt to bring all that stuff down until we got an exchange date penned in.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're going to wait all the way till then?" I said, "Yeah, because if things cock up or delay, we've got a conservatory load of crap that I stored up from the loft, potentially have to put back again. So I'd rather just wait as to the last minute for that sort of thing."
Yeah.
But obviously, you do need to give it a good few days of packing before you actually move, because you need to be ready on the day, don't you? Anyway, boring topic as ever, but that's what I've been doing. So
yeah, I haven't read
have you listened to? I'll go back to Ghosts, the Uncanny new series of Uncanny. He's in America, isn't he?
Have you been listening to him?
Couple of them, yeah.
Did you listen to the one about
the flood?
Well, yeah, that was the first one. The
phone call guy.
I haven't found them as. So
I might be a couple behind, actually.
Oh, right, okay. I was speaking to Ollie about this, also family owned, because I got him into it, and he kind of said that he hasn't been getting into them as well as much as like the normal ones, and I kind of agree in a way.
Yeah.
Apart from I can't remember which episode it was. It might have been the second or third one. But like it was a bit like drab, and then it got to the bit. Have you heard the doppelganger one?
What, the American one?
Yeah. So she
no, but
it's one that literally did make my hairs on the neck like stand up the back of my the hairs on the neck. My hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
Oh, fuck it, I get what you mean. Go on, let's get to the point.
My pubes on my balls was like stand up.
It made your nasal hairs stretch out from your brain. Go on.
Yeah. I don't. This is like recycling pod content, isn't it? It's like
we ain't got anything else, mate.
It's like third hand podding. So
it's just a shit review for another pod.
So this is what happened. You don't need to listen to Uncanny. So we got it here. Basically, they built their own house, and there was a lot of other events that happened that were a bit like, okay. And but then they went out one night, came back to their house, found that the garage light was on, which apparently meant, oh, man, that means somebody's in the house, kind of thing. The husband went in, or her partner went in on his own, and she could see him going up through the house, turning the lights on, going upstairs, out one of the out. She could see him in one of the bedroom windows, flickering the blinds. He did that twice apparently. Then suddenly he's knocking on the side of her car door, going, "Somebody's in the house," kind of thing.
Oh my god!
And then obviously she screamed. So yeah, I mean, you need to listen to it. It's I could almost feel it coming, like when I was listening to it, but it's still like I was like, oh my god, oh, that's actually quite scary.
In an earlier series of Uncanny, there was the British, obviously one of the British ones. There was a story where this chap said him and his family were in their car, and they saw an identical car come the opposite direction, and he saw himself in another car looking petrified
back the other way. And
then the reverse happened where he saw it again. He was petrified, and he saw this himself looking back happy. And it's like, what the best Uncanny.
I think I'd genuinely shit my pants if I saw that, wouldn't you? Like what? Would you not like turn around and like stop following them or something? Just go. And
you'd be traumatized.
Yeah.
You'd be absolutely traumatized.
You see yourself driving by, you'd be like, what? Oh no, I don't even know how I'd react.
That's horrible. Now, what about the time? Have you heard of time slips? Time slips in.
Yeah, there's maybe one in Liverpool.
Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah. Can't remember the name.
In case you don't know what a time slip is, it's where someone experiences just for a brief moment, wherever they are, they suddenly look around them and it's somewhere in the past, sometime in the past, usually quite a long time ago in the past. And there's quite a lot of people come forward who's claim in the same spot, in the same location, have experienced it. I mean, whether it's just like hallucination or what, I still find that fascinating. In fact, I joined a Facebook group called, was it Time Slips?
Time Slippers.
Well, it's Time Slips Anonymous. What's it called? Time Slips, investigating the time slip phenomenon. That's not that late, is it? So I just looking on that Facebook page, someone's put, I have a question. Why do people seem to time slip to the past but not the future? And someone said, maybe because the future is created by the present and it's not set in stone. So there's quite a lot of, semi-serious, well, quite serious.
Are they all based in Liverpool as well? A lot of them based in Liverpool.
I don't know. Well, I haven't read every post, but
why not?
Can you imagine I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know. Fascinated by all that sort of stuff. I'm just trying to see. As we're on the topic. Should I just? Let me just. Should I read this one out? I mean, I read it in advance. It could be crap.
Go on in.
Someone called Maggie just joined and thought you may be interested in this. Bit of a long story, but about 30 to 40 years ago, a friend of my husband called Bomber, in brackets a biker, was going across the Stafford Moors when his bike broke down. It was late and getting dark, so he looked in the distance and saw a light. Pushing his bike towards it, and he found a track that led to a cottage. He knocked on the door, and an elderly lady opened it holding a candle. He explained his bike had broken down and asked if he could chain it to the post outside and sleep in the big hay barn. The lady said he could sleep on her sofa and that she was going upstairs to sleep. She made him a cup of tea and proceeded to bed. The sofa was very old, and although she had a fire going in the grate, he could feel no heat, and the tea had no taste. Early in the morning, while it was still dark, he got up, shouted up to her that he was going, and thanked her. His bike was still chained to the post, so he made his way down the track, onto the lane, and to a local village where he found a telephone box. He phoned his mate to bring a pickup and fetch him, explaining where he was. Eventually, his friend arrived and they drove up the lane, but couldn't find the track. He then saw an overgrown track on the side of the lane and they went down it. When he got to where the cottage and barn should be, there was nothing there, except his bike with the chain going round the tyre and laid out on the floor as though around a post that didn't exist. He was freaked out, to say the least.
This is a real story, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, this is what people put people post their encounters. I mean, you never know if someone's been a fantasist and stuff, but let's just trust everything that's put up there. It's bloody weird, isn't it? That sort of shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, time slips. It's
stuff like that is interesting. It's just on the same lines as all of the unknown kind of stuff: ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot. That's another one. That was the latest one. Uncanny.
Bigfoot. I mean, yeah. There's a couple of Instagram pages I follow. One's called Conspiracy World. It's just forever
I know.
really weird.
Did you watch that video I told you to watch on YouTube?
I did watch it. I watched so it was about a gamer who
streamer. Yeah.
He sort of streamed himself. It was around Christmas. He hadn't streamed for all year, and he streamed his playing whatever he was playing. It was I doesn't matter what game it was. And then he then afterwards went to see his girlfriend and discovered she was brutally savaged and she was killed, wasn't she? Was she pregnant or something?
Yeah.
And later transpired that it was he did it and he wasn't streaming live. He did a pre-record, but
so cool.
Very dark.
Couldn't look at the live chat because of so and so reason, and that was the reason. How it's all very fishy anyway. Like, how did he think? I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with stuff. I don't know, but it's freaky, isn't it? Like, a bit like, I don't know. You watched any more of his videos? I can't remember what the hell that channel's called again.
Watched it? I think I watched a couple. Yeah, it was good. I did watch. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm sure there's on Apple TV. There's a pretty interesting series where it's an audio only series. And it's based on like telephone calls of people having certain conversations, but they're on in a bit of a weird time loop, and they're only like 10-15 minute episodes.
What do you mean
They're
on a
really
time
good. So like, not well. The theme is like sort of time traveling almost. Like you could have call between two people where one said, "I'm just going to go to a party or whatever, and I'm not sure I want to go, but I'll be back soon." And then their partner rings to see where they are. They're like, "What do you mean? I never went.
What? And they're real?
I don't.
These
I
are
don't.
real.
They're not real. They're well written. Have you got Apple TV? What are they
No.
called?
Don't watch
Let me try
much
and find
TV,
it.
do I?
Spooky.
If they were real, I'd be more like... Oh.
No, it's not real, but it's Calls delivers a scary, sinister yet empathetic and human story through the use of an immersive, hypnotic, and beautifully sound design filmmaking. It might be that. It's called Calls is a mystery thriller analog. No, it's not an animated. That must be. Is it that? Yeah, animated miniseries. The show's based on blah 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 blah. So the premise is told through a series of interconnected phone conversations. These conversations. So one off the top of my head, one phone call was between a husband and wife, and the hubby was a bit down and depressive, and he like went off for a walk, and he said, "I'll be back in like 15 minutes."
Did you say depressive? That's not a name. That's not a word, is it? I swear to God, somebody else said that to me the other week, and I was like,
depressive.
Depressive isn't a word. It's depressed, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's being depressive is like
depressive.
Is almost like it's an emotion, isn't it? Yeah, it's on the Oxford Dictionary, mate. I just looked it up.
It's me then.
No, anyway, he went off for like however, just for like an hour because and he kept answering telephone calls from his relatives and say, "Where are you?" So I won't be home long. And basically, somehow he's time traveled and he's like well into the future, and his missus has since moved. I don't know. It's all this sort of stuff. It's well written. It's quite good. I know it's not real. It might remove the reality of it, but it is pretty good. I got my dad into Jonathan Creek.
Why does it take that long? Sorry, I'm trying to sort out my camera. I can't hear you. Oh no, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hello.
Hello.
That's better. What happened?
Don't know. It's just ever since you fiddled with the camera, you must have knocked a connection out.
That was weird because I didn't actually put anything back in. Oh, that'll do. Whatever.
Hey, let's start that segment again.
Yeah. So you got your brother.
Actually,
You got your dad in the Jonathan Creek. You said.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a random thing to say. It's because Creek's got it's a mystery kind of, can be a bit sinister-y thing. And I think for my dad's birthday, maybe last year, I brought him like a bunch of DVDs. And I thought, I'll get him Jonathan Creek. And he was really enjoying it. He's
never seen it before?
Series, no, but he doesn't watch any mainstream stuff. He hasn't for years. He used to, but in the last, God knows how many years, he won't, but I thought I'll buy him that. And he's enjoying it. He'd heard of it, but he'd never watched it.
I just love
anyway.
Jonathan Creek's just great.
Creekage,
just great.
Yeah, yes, it's great. Anyway, let's try and
let's move on.
Think of another topic that's not reviewing.
That's not reviewing a program. What were we talking about before? Anyway, podcasts. Yeah, and YouTube channels.
Okay, do you want to do a Would You Rather game?
Could do.
6 Would You Rather questions. So I'll ask you some Would You Rather do this or that. Have to give an answer. And I've Googled hard Would You Rather questions. Let me have a look. I'm just looking at it now. Oh God! I mean, these. Let's start off with some childish ones. Would you rather have the hiccups for the rest of your life, or feel you have to sneeze and not be able to sneeze for the rest of your life?
Oh, well, probably the hiccups.
Hiccups the rest of your life. That'd be horrible.
Yeah, but so nearly sneezing. Like, oh.
Well, I guess with hiccups, would almost be like another form of breathing after a while because you just do it. Maybe, whereas almost sneezing, your eyes are like bulging and your nose would get blocked. So
Both are not great.
Sorry, it's your question to answer. Sorry, go on.
Both aren't great though. I did say hiccups, but
okay. I think I agree with that actually.
Which
should be absolutely horrible.
Yeah, because I get pissed off with them after having them for about a minute, especially when you're trying to talk and you can't. And you can't. It's just.
Would you rather have? By the way, I'm reading these on Reddit. I just found this. Would you rather have 10 dick fingers?
I already have. What are you talking about?
Or one finger dick? Fucking hell. It's got to be the 10. But if you have a finger dick, are they implying a small penis?
Yeah.
What if you have a massive finger?
What got the biggest hands?
I'll have the finger dick. If you're,
you can always wear a glove. If you wore,
in the height of the summer, you got 10. If you got just like big sausage fingers that look like fingers, that's fine. If they look like penises, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just want to read someone's comment to this.
The comments to it as well.
But if you had a terrible ball itch, you could scratch it with your dick. Right, okay.
That's not really that doesn't help, would it? Really?
Here's one for you. Actually, I know what your answer to this. Would you rather be able to play one instrument of your choosing very well, or be able to speak one new foreign language fluently?
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd probably go with the instrument with me, but like, is this as well as what I already know, or is it just generally like?
Well, they say the words are very well, so pretty fluent, I imagine. I'd love to be able to play the guitar. I don't give a crap about speaking another language.
No.
Unless I was actually going to that country or whatever, or was living with someone.
You wouldn't exactly.
I would give two shiny shites, mate. I want to be able to play the guitar fluently. That'd be great.
I would love to be able to speak another language, but yeah, it's not exactly on my. I struggle with English. Let alone another one at the moment.
There's some really disgusting ones there.
FaaF. Flat as a fart.
Well, that's the end of episode 1 or episode 2, depending how you look at it.
Thank 2 you. In it, I suppose. Pilots.
All right, episode 2. Pilot 2.0.
It feels like it's just come to a abrupt end, doesn't it? It's like
what you hear is what you get. Complete, a bit shambolic. Finding a rhythm has been tricky, but we're going to bring you another episode, maybe the next week, and we'll see how we get on. But call that a warm-up. Maybe the next episode will be a bit more switched on. Yeah. So from me, goodbye. From you,
goodbye.
And those of you who have the internet, could you please, interact with us? That'd be good. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Bye.